The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.
Went a bit bunda yesterday when Nikki described in no uncertain terms how she might have missed the boat with one Chris Hemsworth back in the day, a million years ago. And I know you've got some more information on that you're going to share after the news, Nicolaitis.
Yes, Nicolitis. It's like a disease that has infected your station.
Hemsworth Part 2 or Stage 2.
Stage 2.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. I will talk about Hemsworth Stage 2.
Yes.
But I tell you what, that story, they picked that up in the papers
I know.
yesterday. Which was...
It was quick.
Yesterday morning, I got a text from my husband saying, I'm having a tech detox today, so I'm going to, systems down.
I'm off air.
He couldn't have picked a better day to be off air.
All of a sudden, you're in the paper for denying Chris Hemsworth.
I'm just having an Apple scroll while I'm hosting this thing, and all of a sudden there's me and Chris Hemsworth and what could have been.
It pops up on your screen.
Did he get in touch with you, did he stay true to his word?
Who, the husband?
He stayed true to his word. I've never been more relieved to be blocked out by my husband ever.
What a day for it to happen.
Because you were looking into that too, so you never know when something's going to work in your favour.
Yeah, but at some point he would have come off his tech detox and he would have had 42 missed calls and a courier mail alert
I've
that his
blocked
wife
him.
is. You've blocked your husband.
I blocked him on Instagram.
Okay, that's a deeper issue we need to talk about at a further time. But it did rouse interest with a lot of people around celebrity interactions and not necessarily just hookups. But
because that wasn't a hookup.
That wasn't a hookup. That was just a flirt or whatever.
Unfortunately for Chris, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He'll mend.
Yeah,
But yes.
I don't know. But anyway, because Ash always gives me rubbish about I had a chance with Katie Holmes once and didn't take it.
Yeah.
What?
What was it? It was in a Qantas club or something.
No, it was in a first class lounge.
There you go.
We were
I
in.
don't know what we were doing in there.
We'd
snuck in. That's right.
Yes. But we were flying. We were in LA. I can't remember where we were going. But the only people in the first class lounge, it was me, Lutzi, Jody, my wife, and Scott. Was it?
Yeah, Scott, your brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law. We were over. So we were over filming The Cadets, our DVD, and it was just the four of us and Katie Holmes, and she was sitting by herself.
Yeah.
In the first class lounge.
Yeah. And Ash could do nothing because his wife was there and his brother-in-law.
No, Jody went and ruined it for you.
You were
Ash.
somewhat hamstrung.
But Nikki, I was talking Lutzi. I was like, Lutzi, this is it. This is your moment.
I think I made an approach, but then I couldn't follow through.
You know what he did? He walked over. She was sitting right before where all the drinks and everything were.
Yeah.
And he walked over, and I was watching him going, he's going to do it. I was so proud of him. I was, go Lutzi. And he sort of started walking towards, and then he veered off, and he just went straight to the drinks cabinet.
This is at a hot. This was back in the day. This was like Tom Cruise before. This was like Dawson's Creek, maybe.
I think it was like 2000. It was 2004.
Yeah, it was like she was at the top of her game.
That's pre-Tom.
Oh, she was
pre-Tom.
proper girl
I could've-
next door
I could have
hot then.
saved her from Scientology, the whole works.
Yes.
It would have changed her life.
Yeah.
If I just had a board of that, gin and tonic. But I didn't buy it.
No,
It
you
was
didn't even
free.
have to buy it. It was just there. You just had to say hello. Like he didn't even say hello.
Anyway, what did you at 13, 24, 10, by the way, if you've got celebrity interactions, I want to hear. They can be pretty crap. They don't have to be great. It doesn't have to be Katie Holmes.
Like
but
the closest that you've
the
got.
closest you've got to some sort of meaningful interaction with a celebrity. Well, you had... you had a good one.
I had...
on that same trip.
That was the same trip. Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly. You know
Yes.
Jennifer Tilly?
Yes, I do.
We went to...
This was genuine.
Hang on, who is Jennifer Tilly?
Mitch,
For those who don't know.
Hang on, let me have a look at my IMDb. Keep talking.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a strip. My first thing is Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, but she's also the voice of in the Bride of Chucky. She's got that like you see her face, you hear her
she was
voice.
Tiffany and Chucky.
But
She's got a really distinct voice.
Very
you
distinct.
definitely know if you saw her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened, Ash?
Well, no, we were interviewing her, and it was like $10,000 event ticket to get into. We were just sort of on the red carpet, and I can't remember. She just said I was really good looking or something.
No, she was genuinely flirting with Ashley, like hello, and like it was like it could, in different circumstances it could have been on. I'd go as far as saying that, and I'm not exaggerating there. Like she was genuinely into you.
Yeah. So that's as close as I reckon I've got.
Is this pre-Jodie? PJ?
No, she was standing next to
Jodie
him.
was standing right next to me at the time.
Oh, bloody Jodie.
Yeah. I mean, no, she was there the whole time. Yeah, but anyway, so...
Yeah, that
Calls
was a
coming-
good flex in front of Jodie.
It was a good flex.
That was a nice flex.
Calls coming through 13 24 10. Near miss celebrity interaction.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snack Box.
You've lit the phones up, Lutzi. Everyone wants to ring in and tell us about
Righto. Excellent.
their near misses with celebrities. Mm-hmm. Margaret at Ipswich.
hello.
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 What happened? Who'd you nearly crack onto?
Oh, Nico Hines.
Oh, really?
What, Nico Hines?
Yes.
So he said?
Yeah.
Because he always interacts really well with the media.
Yep.
I love his eyes and his hair.
Yeah,
That is
there's something
perfect.
about him. It's just, I don't know. It looks like he's a beautiful looking man, but there's also a little bit of 8 Mile about him, isn't there? I think it's the teeth.
Yeah, there is, but that's what might be what it is.
That's what it does it for. That's
She
what
likes
puts
it a little
that's
bit
what
rough
puts
and
him over
ready.
the edge for her.
And where'd you meet him? It's not just your celebrity crush here.
Yeah,
Have you had an
yeah.
interaction?
No, I didn't. I actually missed out on meeting him. I was at the airport, at Brisbane Airport, and I was sitting down. I'd only gone somewhere just for the day, and he stopped just in front of me about 2 feet away, and other people were coming up to him with their cameras saying, can I have a photo? And he, of course, said yes. And I thought, I've got to get my camera out of my bag, and I'm rummaging through my bag, and in rummaging through the bag to get the camera, I dropped it all over the ground. He turned around to look at what the noise was, and I was so embarrassed. I felt like a besotted little school kid.
Oh, it's almost as piss weak as my Katie Holmes
Yeah, you
interaction.
stood your lines, yeah.
Who else we got? I can't see. What do you got there, Mitchie?
Back out of Cooperoo. Who'd we see?
Oh, hey, it's Beck.
Yeah, Beck, what do you got? Come on.
Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones, the English actor.
He's like former
Yeah.
football player and like
Former soccer player.
Hard Man in the Guy Ritchie
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
At the height of his lock stock, I was at Dover Street Wine Bar in London at a work Christmas party, and he was there with friends.
Yes.
And I nearly chickened out, but I hit the dance floor, and he ended up twirling me. So,
And that was Lock, Stock and Two
my
Smoke.
highlight.
Lock, Stock. It was the peak of his
Ooh.
powers then.
Cheryl.
Did you
Yeah,
drag him
yeah.
up to the dance floor? Did you go over and say, let's
No,
go?
he was on the dance floor, but I made sure I shimmied up.
Right.
I was going to say that's what you do. You shimmy in.
Did you
Good
back it up
move,
on him,
Beck.
Beck?
Some dry humping.
She twerked her way across the room
into Vinnie
into
Jones.
Vinnie Jones's crotch.
Well, at least she didn't wuss out.
Yeah, that's
Like,
good. That's
she
the best
went
we've
there.
had so
I
far.
respect that. Cherie out of Newport. Yep, who was it?
Yes, hi. I'm the infamous mystery lady that gave my Dolphins hat to Drew Barrymore. I met her at her before party. I was all over the media and apparently radio stations, but no one actually called me. And I met her at the before party, at her VIP before party.
Yeah.
I was staying in the hotel as well. But that day, her and her daughters were there and her entourage. I went to the toilet downstairs and near the restaurant there and bar, and then she came in with her daughters, but I was coming out the door and she hit me with the door and she grabbed hold of me, and that was my first interaction with her. And then I already had planned to give her my Dolphins members hat
The obvious thing to
at
do.
at the party. And when I met her there, I said, look, if you wear this when you're walking around the Queen Street Mall or whatever, or at the airport, you'll be just like everyone else, because this is our Dolphins rugby league team. I didn't bring up the Broncos because I don't like the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, she said, oh, well, okay, no worries, thank you.
And did she wear it?
She wore it
Look.
at the airport.
Oh, we got a photo of her.
And-
Yeah, we
Got a
got
photo
it.
of her with the Dolphins hat on.
That's right. It was in the papers and everything, and yeah.
So that was you.
I also gave her a pair of lovely, colourful earrings,
Okay, now you
and
get- now
she
you're
wore
getting
them. She's worn them on the show as well.
It's getting a little bit creepy now, but I mean, keep going. I like what you've done. That's our best interaction so far. We got one more.
And Sam out of Wallow Point.
G'day guys, love the show. Hey, I was up in Port Douglas with the missus on holidays, and we're in that Ironbark bar watching the cane toad races.
Yes.
Had a couple of beers,
As you do.
as you do up there, and I'm looking over and I'm thinking, do I know that bloke? And he was looking over at me, and I'm like, he must know me as well, you know. A few hours went by, and I said, I'm going to go and talk to him. She said, don't be an idiot. And I, no, I'm going to. Anyway, on the way out, I said, sorry to keep looking at you like a weirdo. Do I know you? And he goes, yeah, I'm Tom Hanks. I was like, what?
Oh, when he was filming Elvis, was it?
It was Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Well, did you think he was an old school buddy you'd just forgotten?
I thought that's someone I've met at work or something like that. And Tom Hanks.
But
I'm
that's
like,
what happens. That's what happens. Everyone thinks they know the celebrity and they're staring. Like, I know when people are trying to work me out. Like, I'm the level of fame where when I go to a restaurant, I'm famous enough that the waiter's looking at me funny when they're taking my order, but not famous enough that they know my name, and they always forget to bring out my meal.
So they don't actually take the order. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, so because they're too busy
like a
staring at me.
theme
I know
park.
when it's going to happen, and then the meal never comes out.
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah. Imagine Tom Hanks, the poor bugger. Well, that was good. There were some good ones.
That was
surprised me,
great.
yes.
Beck with Vinnie Jones, that's a proper move. She
Backing
went
it up,
for it.
Back up,
Vinny.
Beck.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snack Box.
I'm coming in half-cocked here, but I was aroused. My interests were aroused and roused yesterday by that drone which flew into Drake's penthouse. Was that in Sydney or Melbourne? Did you see that?
No.
I saw
Nikki, anyone?
Yeah, I saw it briefly this morning on the Today Show. It was
What
like
I missed.
yeah,
Oh,
like
shit, now I'm thinking I've watched something. But I've had discussions with people about it and showing people, unless it's some deep AI fake thing. Like he was up, it looked like he was staying in Barangaroo, whatever it is. I think it must have been Sydney. And I'm speaking in half-truths here. But he was, a drone flew up into like the very, very top level of that super high-rise. And it seemed to make a point the fact he was gambling on his laptop, and then he runs out and throws what looks like a crock at the drone, and then it sort of flies off
And it actually goes into the unit.
into the unit, and then it flies away from what looks to be, is that Barangaroo? You know that
Yeah, that's
Crown
that new casino or
thing
whatever.
in Sydney.
Yeah.
And then and all of a sudden it's out in the middle of, a million miles away from the high rise. But a dead set flies into like a semi-open area of the penthouse and almost looks at what's on his laptop screen. And then he runs out and throws a shoe at it.
A crock of all things.
It looks like a crock, and it's a horrible throw.
Oh, it's a horrible shoe.
Yeah.
He had an orange crock just standing by.
That's pretty messed up, though.
Oh, what are the rules and regulations around that?
Well, I'm pretty sure you can't do that, but I don't know. Back in the day, you had to have special licenses. I remember when we went to Kokoda and Lee Carlson on it was actually, and he said, you had to have all the
but
Physical training
and blah blah blah.
Wasn't that in like 2015?
That was a long
that was
time
10. Holy hell, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Nobody had drones back then.
No.
And they were super expensive. Like 10 years on,
I'm sure
every
you
man
can't
and his
just-
dog has got a drone.
Yeah. I don't know the legalities of it, but I can see why Drake would have been pissed off.
I saw one the other day sitting out on the balcony in Brisbane here, and it just came along our apartment, and it stopped. It stopped when it saw me.
Yeah.
And I sat there looking at it for a bit, and then it just sort of moved on. But it was effectively doing a drive-by of everybody's balcony and looking into their apartments.
Well, that's what I realised. In my apartments, they're selling one of the units, and I went on real estate or whatever to have a look, and there's a drone shot in it, but it's literally on the corner of the apartments where my apartment is. You can see everything. I had to check that I wasn't lying on the bed because it looked like it was taken during the day. Usually I go home and just chill out. Like I could have been, could have been anything going on in there. I could have been nude. Yeah. You can see everything in my apartment.
Yeah.
From this drone shot.
What would that do to the real estate prices, you reckon, though?
Well, it depends on your buyer, Mitch.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snack Box.
Ash, we were just talking to Reese, who's a twin, playing Smarter Than Who. Said they got up to some shenanigans. You reckon you didn't take full advantage of it growing up?
I don't reckon full advantage with the benefit of hindsight. We've switched classes a couple of times. That was about it. Now, Jane out of North Lakes, you've got identical twins, do you?
I do, and they're a bit young to be. Well, they're only 9, so they're a bit young to be calling and telling the story. So I'm doing it on their behalf.
Well, what have they got going on?
Yeah, so we went back to New Zealand for a holiday to visit my family, and we went through passport control, and I thought to myself, I'm going to see, how, because they're fairly identical to me. I can tell the difference. It's probably useful with your experience. But yeah, so we went through it. I thought, I'm going to swap these passports around. I said to them, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I did it anyway. So I put the first one through and I put the other one's passport. It went through fine, did the other one, put the other one passport through. So, yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Oh, so they both just got put straight through, did they?
They both put straight through, yeah. And
But is that facial recognition?
Yeah, that was facial recognition. But
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
but
you know, I wonder with their phones, with the facial recognition on their phones, like have they got phones that
No, not yet. Yeah, that would be.
Like that facial recognition won't work like between Luke and I now, but we're older and, he's got a heap chubbier face than me. But, No, but I wonder if on the young kids, whether Apple, whether it'd open up the phone.
Well, you'd think if it works in passport control, that the same technology would be used on your phone, but it'd be interesting to see.
And do you reckon, Jane, this is another question I always have for my mum, like through the mayhem of having, young kids, like when your twins were, toddlers, were infants, they're just, just lying there. And before you truly got to know them,
I know what you're gonna say.
Do you reckon that it's possible that you could mix them up? This one's Emma, this one's Amy, or whatever it might be.
Oh, I was really worried about that. And in the first week, I actually painted one of them's toenails, or one of the toenails, just to make sure that I knew the right one. And then
just
luckily,
like
after about 2 weeks, Caden, who's the one that I painted his toenail, he actually developed a birthmark on his knee. So that was fantastic. From then on,
thank God for that.
The Ash, Lutzi and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.
Now, we were talking about Hemsworth yesterday, which then ended up in the papers, and how, what could have been if my husband hadn't rudely interrupted our conversation. It's very sliding doors, isn't it?
I mean, it was a bit rude. I mean, I know he's your husband, but it's a bit rude. I mean, there's a part that you could have just gone, can you just give me 10 minutes here just to see where it goes?
I think if it was post-Thor era, when he's actually Thor, I reckon he would have given me the time, because he would have gone, there's an opportunity here.
Where was he at that stage in his career? I just finished Home and Away and was going over to LA, so nothing really had of international.
No, I think there was lots of interest, and he got a good agent, but it might have been he might have already had Kenneth Branagh on the line to do Thor. But anyway, it didn't all die that night. We did exchange Facebook friend requests. That was back when it was private Facebook days, when you could only have 5,000 people. There was no public pages yet. And so, we just became friends on Facebook. And we hadn't really interacted or anything. And then there was trouble in the press between Liam and Miley.
Yes.
This is because we're talking about Wrecking Ball, how that's winning Throwback Throwdown at the moment. And, it was in the press that there was trouble in Paradise. And then Chris posted on his private page, he said, there's nothing worse than watching someone you love make the same mistakes over and over.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
And I said, because I'm an idiot.
Oh, no. What did you say?
I wrote Ebola. I reckon Ebola's worse.
Oh, there's nothing worse. Gotcha.
Right.
So you did the perspective chat to him.
I did the perspective chat, and because there was an Ebola breakout in Africa at the time.
So it was topical.
I thought I was being funny.
That's funny.
I wasn't funny. No,
what happened? What was the reaction?
He blocked me.
Oh,
I got unfriended.
Well, I mean, if you're firing your shot and you're saying something funny, that's either he could fall in love with you at that moment. So you go, well, in a moment of darkness for the family, you brought some light with an Ebola gag. But he went the other way and went, no, Nikki, no.
How rude.
Nikki, no.
Yeah, insensitive.
Insensitive, blocked.
Oh.
It probably was a little insensitive, but that's
you fired your shot, though. You fired your shot.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat because you had to go.
This is why comedians end up, miserable and alone, because they go for the joke instead of the considered considerate response.
Instead of the, I agree, Chris.
Yeah.
I wish the best for you and your lesser known brothers.
I'm
The Ash, Lutzi, and Nikki Osborne Snackbox.